Great. Thank you, Leslie. Um, Appreciate you guys taking the time to meet with me. And I know this is the last session for the week, or for today. So hopefully this all goes well. So I'm Jeff Mershon. I'm founder, CEO at UnifyPoint. Um, we are providing predictive AI maintenance tools for proactive remediation, so applications and missions don't fail. We were the first small business to ever meet with a sitting director of DISA and Joint Force Headquarters. We have product that's deployed at Air Force Research Labs, and we recently were selected for a Phase 2 SBIR award with our Air Force sponsors and MOU folks in the Research Lab Division of Air Force. So getting in today, I'll kind of go over a bit about what we're doing and then show you a demo as well. So what we found are some challenges that's plaguing the entire industry, whether it's commercial or public market spaces, are challenges around human knowledge and tools.
Okay, it looks like Jeffrey lost his connection. Let's stand by for him to get back on. Hold on one second.
You there?
You back on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you share your screen again?
Yeah, I didn't drop at all. Let me try sharing my screen one more time. Okay. Can you see it?
Good to go. Take it away.
Awesome. So the humans are a big challenge. We found that humans are basically the over provision tool that everybody's using to manage all of their IT environments, to manage all of their systems, all their applications, and they're scaling their organization using humans, but they're a massive short supply. They don't feel empowered. They are extremely error prone and they're expensive. So that's a big challenge that people have. They're also one of the largest sources of cybersecurity risk that you have, both inside and outside your organization. Things around knowledge gap we found is command and control is lacking within IT environments or missing completely. We found that a lot of the folks don't have the data what they need in order to make their daily decisions, and so they're making decisions based on feelings, not based on analytics and data that they have as to what's working, what's not working in their environment. How do they make it better? How do they stop doing what they're doing? How do they fix things so they don't fail as frequently? And then we found that they're all using existing tools that are available in the open market. And these tools are actually built on a relic of traditional IT era, collecting data using data standards that were built in 1989 and ratified in the early 1990s. These tools don't tell them what they have. They don't tell them what's failing, what's about to fail. They can't be proactive. And so what we find is people are saying, hey, we find out from the users that applications are failing, not working, missions are failing, and we're having to react to those issues. And we want to become more proactive. And these are the same sorts of issues that even Google was having 20 years ago when they were scaling their IT department and their deployments and applications massively. And they're like, how do we do this better and more effectively and efficiently? Because we can't keep throwing humans at the problem. So today, Google runs their IT operations department 900 times more effective and efficient than folks in the commercial or public market space. And they've done this by building
Okay, I think Jeffrey has lost his connection again. Please stand by.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I don't know what's going on. I haven't done anything on my side.
Yeah, it's
Click on HD,
okay.
go to low D.
All right.
Let me share my screen again.
Sounds good. Thank you.
So we're bringing the same sort of tools that the hyperscalers have, and we're bringing them available for everybody else to get access to. And interestingly enough, the guy at Google that's built their tools and automated all of their IT environments is one of our advisors as well. So the tools that we're building is this hyper automation platform that's going to self-manage your IT organization for you. And it doesn't matter where these machines are deployed at, whether they're deployed in your own environment, whether they're machines that you're leasing from one of your cloud vendors, whether it's machines that are running on ships, in autonomous driven vehicles or boats, planes, whatever. As long as we have internet connectivity to those machines or network connection to them, we can manage the health and life of those machines for you. We built our product into three core focus areas. We're automating the health, identifying and root causing problems. We're remediating those issues with service, and then we're providing you that life cycle knowledge around everything that's going on so that you can now manage things strategically rather than tactically. This is a completely newly designed product. It's not invasive. It scales very effortlessly and is designed with security in mind. So this is built for really modern deployments, devices, providing that actionable content, that rich data that you need to be proactive and to remediate issues before they cause application and machine failure or mission failures. Now, we do this based on managing components because a machine is basically a piece of sheet metal with some name brand on the outside, but all the components inside that machine are what's delivering 100% of the reliability and availability for your applications. So maintaining the health of every one of those components inside those machines is critical. And by keeping those components healthy, that machine will deliver 100% of the capabilities it was designed to do. And it will keep those applications running healthily so that those missions stay on target. But what you're doing is now you're managing millions and millions of components in real time, and you're providing all of that detailed analytical data that tells you exactly what you have, where you have it at, what operating system versions, kernel versions, all of that stuff that you have it on. Now, we did mention that we do all of these additional use cases. We do have deployments in high performance compute environments, cloud scale out, traditional IT, and then also things that can handle those extreme edge kind of capabilities as well. In summary, our solution is a really low risk but high payoff. We've seen customers getting over 10x operational efficiency improvements out of this platform, providing them that clear command and control so that they know what failures they have and are about to have, so they can fix those and remediate those issues before those applications start to fail or struggle with the users on them. We do provide that visibility and observability across those fleets of infrastructure. So we're managing machines regardless of where they're deployed and giving you that full control, that full one pane of glass screen that can manage all of that stuff. And clearly the results are around increasing your application performance, your application reliability, keeping those missions on track and on target, and then focusing and freeing up a lot of critical IT resources like humans so you can deploy them on more mission critical things that are going to provide more value for your warfighting capabilities, and to into all of the armed forcemen that you and women that you have out there. So it's very, very capable product built on tools that Google has used to automate and manage all of their infrastructure and data centers. And I'll show you kind of a capability of what this is. Now, a lot of people think that in order to automate IT, that this is going to be a really complicated tool, really complicated solution. But in reality, when you are automating things, you're making decisions about that data, the knowledge base of how those components work and if they're about to fail and when they fail, so that you could then automate all the remediation capabilities for that, while also collecting all of that critical data around what you have and where you have it at, making that complete visibility and observability across all of those fleets of machines that you have readily available and right at your fingertips. So what you can see here is we've got our system manager, our health manager, and then clearly some configuration stuff, how to set it up and use it, and users and whatnot. Now, the system manager is giving you that full visibility across your fleets of machines, but making it very detailed to where you can streamline down to specific things that you want to identify and find within that. So let's say that you've got components that are failing frequently from a given vendor or a given model number. You can go in here and you can find out across these things and say, hey, tell me hard drives that I have that are Seagate drive that's running this particular firmware version. And you'll see as you do these searches, we're taking all of that fleet of information and simplifying it down to those results that you're looking for. And here you could say, hey, I've got 2 systems that match this criteria. And you can see within those 2 systems, all of those machines that are running that given firmware version. So if you have a failure that's caused by that model number or by that firmware version in that model number, you can find out exactly what's the impact that you have to your whole environment because of those component failures that exist. And you can do very detailed searches. This is everything from motherboards, NIC cards, DIMMs, power supplies, NVMe, SSDs, CPUs, et cetera, that you have. You can do that. But you can also search everything across given data centers that you have or locations of machines, whether it's machines on a given ship, right? Then those machines would be identified as they're located on this device or on this ship or in this data center or in this cloud vendor that you have. And you can do searches across all of that information. Also things like operating systems you have. When we talk to a lot of folks in the commercial and public space, we ask them questions like, do you know what operating systems you're running at? What versions you're running of? Do you know what kernels you have out there running? Because a lot of times you'll find that there's industry things come out that, hey, there's cyber risk or cyber issues or holes or bugs within certain kernel versions or operating system versions or BIOS versions, whatever it is. And that's all this software that's running on all this infrastructure, making it work. Well, you need to know that stuff as to where it is when you find those problems. So this gives you the capability of saying, hey, I want to find all the machines that have this CentOS Linux version 7 on it. And then if you want to drill down even further and say what kernel versions you're running at, you can get that data. And that'll tell you exactly everything you have, what machines are impacted by that, how to get to them, and all the information about that machine that's readily available. So you know everything there is to know about it. And so all of this capability is very detailed level searches about your environment to answer all of those what if questions that you've never been able to answer before because you never knew what it would do. Some customers I talked to said, yeah, this would take me thousands of man hours to basically log into every machine we have to find this sort of information. And then they're doing it one machine at a time and hoping that they're collecting that data accurate and it's always updated on some spreadsheets or whatever. Well, we've taken the guesswork out of that because all the data we collect is all generated by the machines, all by software. So it's constantly updating this data source for us as your environment changes, grows, etc. Or as new things get deployed, new tools, new operating systems, kernel versions, firmware versions, etc. We're constantly maintaining an accurate source of information and data on that. So that's the system manager, right? And that's that complete what if analysis of everything that you have. But health is where you really start to see a lot of issues within your infrastructure or software and try to correlate those back to, hey, they're impacting applications that we have. So we need to try to fix them. Again, most IT environments are reactive in nature. They wait for somebody to call up and say that my application's not working, it's not responding, it's too slow. Then you throw a whole bunch of people at it and constantly try to troubleshoot and triage all those machines, which takes a lot of humans, which they're typically more than anything creating failures along the way as they're trying to identify and fix problems. But we've taken all of that guesswork out of it completely. We've built in data knowledge and AI within our product where we're automatically managing the life and the health of every machine and every component, regardless of where you have it at. So you can see things like in here that the system went offline and is unreachable. It's down, it's not responding. We can't get access to it. You wouldn't have known this, right? Potentially for some time, or days or weeks potentially, or until the application had a failure and then you start triaging it. DIM failures. So this is saying, hey, we've got a DIM in this machine that's about to fail, right? This is allowing you to go fix that failure before it does fail and impacts those applications. So we give you all the detailed information here about that machine it's in, about that component. Now we've taken it one step further and not only said that you have a part that's about to fail, where we're predicting failure of it, but we're also identifying exactly where that component is on that motherboard. Because if you open up a machine and you've got 32, 48 DIM modules in it, it's guesswork to figure out which one's bad, right? We're taking that guesswork out. So this one, we're actually telling you, hey, the DIM that's about to fail is literally in slot DIM underscore A1. And that's how that manufacturer physically labeled that slot on that motherboard. So when somebody goes to repair it, you don't need a high-skilled IT work person to do it. Google uses auto mechanics to repair all their machines and all their data centers constantly all day long, right? So, and they do this because this is a very prescriptive fix of how to do it, right? That it took the software to identify the problem, not humans, right? Logging into machines to do it. And then we collect the full health history of all your machines for you, like your doctor. You go in with symptoms, they look at your previous history, health history, they try to identify and locate things to see if there's correlations, whatnot, or if it's something new, and then they prescribe a solution for you. Well, not having that data is really difficult to prescribe a solution that's going to be accurate. Because what if he's just prescribing something that you've already been prescribed, right? Or something you've already taken. But like a computer, you can't talk back and say, no, don't do that because you've already tried it, right? Humans can't. So we have all this information in here about all your machines, the full life history of all of these machines, every time anything's happened or changed with it, right? Machine went down, components failed, new components were repaired in it. We capture that information, new operating systems deployed, kernel versions, etc. You'll see all that in here because we keep the full health history of all of your infrastructure and machines readily available. Then we tie it into, the next thing we do is we tie it into the possible causes and actions. And you can see here, we've already taken a ticket on this issue, right? As you can see here. But what we've done further than that is we've actually automated the remediation further than just identifying, predicting, and getting that done. We've actually gone off and we've created the alerts into other tools that you have that do your ticketing stuff. So this is like ServiceNow integration where before you even known that there was a problem in our tool, we've already went off and created the event and alert capability for that. And then once you've taken the action on it, you can see here we created the very specific item around how to repair that machine. This is that prescriptive instruction saying you need to replace this DIM in this machine that's located in this slot, and you need to bring one of these parts with you to go do that with, right? And then we tell you where the machine is located and what data center and what rack it's actually physically put in. So now the person repairing it has everything they need to quickly go in there, repair that machine, get it back to normal working condition, so those applications are getting higher level of reliability and performance and not impacting those missions or those applications that are running there. So that's a quick summary of everything that we're doing here. Greatly appreciate you guys' time. Give you the rest of your evening or afternoon back, and I've got all my contact information here for you to reach out. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, sounds great, Jeffrey. Thank you so much, and appreciate your patience with the technical difficulties.
Yeah, thank you for helping with
All
that
right.
too.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you later. Thanks.
Cheers. Bye.